Elite Facts presents
50 Random Facts You May Not Have Known, number 10.
50.
In 1983, NASA was concerned with the workings of the menstrual cycle in space while preparing for the first woman to achieve spaceflight, and asked Sally Ride if 100 tampons would be enough for a 7-day mission.
49.
The track and platform at Bank Underground Station bends so as to avoid the vaults of the Bank of England.
48.
The last person born in the 19th century died on April 15, 2017. Emma Morano was 117 years old.
47.
Even though Canada has a large landmass, it only has 1/10 the population of the USA.
46.
Ian Holm, who played Bilbo in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, also played Ash, the murderous wannabe alien-smuggling android in the 1979 film Alien.
45.
Spiders can't chew or swallow, so they inject poison into their prey, which turns the insides of the insect into a watery goop that the spiders can just lap up.
44.
Slash's famous Gibson Les Paul used on Appetite for Destruction isn't actually a Gibson. It was, in fact, a replica built by musician and luthier Chris Derrick. He passed away before Appetite for Destruction was released.
43.
Double stuff Oreos are actually made with less than double the cream of a regular Oreo, 1.86 times the cream of a regular Oreo, to be exact.
42.
Candy company Trolli briefly made roadkill gummies, shaped like smushed animals, until animal rights activists complained and they were pulled from the market.
41.
On September 10, 1977, France used the guillotine for the last time as a form of execution.
40.
Zoidberg's Whoop 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 is copied from Curly of the Three Stooges fame.
39.
The inventor of the fidget spinner surrendered the patent in 2005 because she couldn't afford the $400 fee to renew it.
38.
Scarface scribe Oliver Stone named Tony Montana after his favorite football player, Joe Montana.
37.
The sculptor of Mount Rushmore National Memorial, Gutzon Borglum, planned to make a secret room behind the hairline of Abraham Lincoln, which was supposed to be a doorway to a chamber originally intended to hold some of America's most treasured documents, but it was left unfinished due to his death.
36.
Nintendo adds a bittering agent, denatonium benzoate, to Switch cartridges to prevent kids from swallowing them.
35.
Michael Jordan quit the NBA 3 times.
34.
In 2009, Mexico City got the record for most people dancing simultaneously to Thriller, with 13,579 dancers.
33.
In December 2006, archaeologists discovered the earliest known artificial eyeball, which belonged to a 6-foot-tall woman who lived 5,000 years ago.
32.
The role of the pinball wizard in The Who's 1975 rock opera Tommy was initially offered to Rod Stewart, who turned it down on the advice of a friend. That friend was Elton John, who had wanted the role all along, and took it.
31.
The box office megaflop Battlefield Earth was co-produced by John Travolta, a Scientologist and the film's villain, and was based on an L. Ron Hubbard book. Its production company was convicted of fraud and went bankrupt.
30.
China had a 14-year gaming console ban that ended in 2014.
29.
McDonald's has trademarked its own enzymatic liquid drain declogger called McFree to dissolve grease from its sewer lines.
28.
A soccer ball that was on board the Space Shuttle Challenger was recovered and is now in orbit around Earth aboard the International Space Station.
27.
Japanese actor Sonny Shiba studied karate directly under Masutatsu Oyama, founder of the Kyokushin karate style, and would later play Oyama in multiple movies.
26.
The glove guns used in the movie Inglourious Basterds were real firearms manufactured during World War II.
25.
Michael Jackson was the one to suggest to Queen that Another One Bites the Dust, written by Queen bassist John Deacon, should be released as a single, even though Queen didn't think it would do that well.
24.
The novel of the James Bond adventure Dr. No includes Bond fighting a giant squid. He eventually defeats Dr. No by burying him in a giant pile of poop. Maybe it's for the best that the film turned out the way it did.
23,
Dogs have two noses. The second, which humans don't have, is called Jacobson's organ and is located at the back of its nose. This double smelling system allows some trained dogs to sniff out bladder, kidney, and prostate cancer with a 95% accuracy.
22,
There's a Statue of Liberty in the River Seine donated by the American Community of Paris in 1889 to commemorate the centennial of the French Revolution.
21,
Stephen Hawking's fear of aliens comes from the possibility of aliens enslaving us, based on the fact that we've done that to ourselves in the past, when a more technologically advanced civilization encountered a less technologically advanced civilization.
20,
The gruesome murders of prostitutes in Whitechapel caused an uproar in the entire city, and people demanded effective action from the police, but the identity of Jack the Ripper could never be proven. There were a number of suspects, but only 3 of them remain under suspicion to this day. Aaron Kozinski, a Polish immigrant, Montague John Druitt, a barrister, and Michael Ostrog, a Russian doctor, who were all maniacs and against women prostitutes.
19,
Ghost peppers are used in India as a repellent to ward off elephants, preventing them from eating and destroying crops.
18,
Queen Elizabeth II was one of the first heads of state to send an email. The year was 1976. Her username was HME2, or Her Majesty Elizabeth II.
17,
When Andre the Giant would go drinking in Manhattan, the NYPD would have an officer follow him around town to make sure he didn't drunkenly fall on anyone again.
16,
One of the most popular beer brands in the Netherlands is just called Brand.
15,
The Sega Master System sells roughly 150,000 units per year to this day in Brazil and continues to get new and exclusive games to the region. It has remained popular in Brazil since its 1989 debut, making it the longest-running console of all time.
14,
Barry Gibb of the Bee Gees purchased the former home of Johnny Cash and June Carter Cash in Tennessee in 2006, intending to restore it and turn it into a songwriting retreat. But the house was destroyed by fire a year later while under renovation.
13,
Alex Rocco, the actor who played gangster Mo Green in The Godfather, was responsible for starting the decade-long Irish mob war in Boston when a rival gang member tried to pick up his girlfriend.
12,
King Henry VIII was once arrested and then imprisoned for assaulting a police constable with his walking stick. When the police constable was informed that he had jailed the King of England, he feared execution. Instead, he was commended by Henry VIII for his dedication to duty.
11,
Pen caps have holes in them to prevent suffocation if swallowed.
10,
In 1983, to ensure that the soundtrack for the third Star Wars film, Return of the Jedi, would be accurately reproduced in the best venues, George Lucas helped create the modern company THX.
9,
There is a retirement island inhabited by apes that were used for medical testing.
8,
Elvis Presley's cousin, Billy Smith, accepted $18,000 from a magazine to secretly photograph Presley's corpse at the open casket funeral.
7,
King George V of England had a dragon tattoo on his arm.
6,
Before becoming an actor, Jason Statham competed in diving at the 1990 Commonwealth Games and also sold fake jewelry to make ends meet early in his modeling career.
5,
Hippopotamonstrosequipedaliophobia is the fear of long words. Ironic, huh?
4,
The scene in Terminator 2 Judgment Day where a helicopter flies under an overpass was not CGI. It was a stunt performed by helicopter pilot Chuck Tamburo. The stunt was so dangerous that the film crew refused to film it, so James Cameron had to film the sequence himself.
3,
Central Park's estimated real estate value is over $500 billion.
2,
A pineapple is actually a bunch of berries fused together.
1,
Volvo invented the three-point seatbelt, and instead of patenting the idea, they gave it away to save lives instead.
Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more elite facts.